Hello people, this is Squash Corner, and this is what to expect if you're planning to go to the reopening of Disneyland. The first thing I would like to talk about is once you park at the Mickey and Friends parking structure, which is the parking structure to get to the park, there's a tram that you go to that takes you closer to the park because it's quite a walk. The tram is not operational at the moment, so basically I had to walk from the parking structure to the park, which doesn't sound too bad. But relating to this topic is because a lot of people were in lockdown for COVID, I was not prepared for that. So basically the first walk that I did was totally fine. And when the park was over and my legs were dying because I'm not used to walking anymore, the tram wasn't working and operational still, so I had to walk all the way back. And then it was really painful, so if you're somebody with kids and stuff, I could imagine them crying from how much pain that is, so that's just a heads up. This might sound like a no-brainer, but honestly, I would give 2 to 3 weeks of prep time, meaning fix your sleep schedule. I understand we're all indoors, but please fix your sleep schedule and also get your body moving at least 2 to 3 weeks. I did not do that at all. So when I went to the park and my body was just failing halfway through because it's 12 hours, which is something I'm totally not used to anymore, my body was just on coffee the whole time and Monster Energy throughout the whole park. And I could tell you by the end of it, my body was failing and was about to pass out at any moment. Related to being energized is the coffee you're given at Disneyland. It's throughout the whole park. It's the same type of coffee. And if you're somebody who's a big coffee addict, the coffee's kind of weak, like caffeine-wise. So some people, probably to the normal person, it's enough. But if you're somebody who really needs that kick to, keep moving and to be energized as much as possible, there is a Starbucks on Main Street. The problem with that is it's a very popular location, so you're gonna wait in line. So something I highly recommend is either it's the beginning of your day, you're going to the park, go to it, because with that, you don't just get the regular park coffee. You could customize and do whatever you would like to make your coffee as strong as possible if that's exactly what you need. Okay, this is the meat and potatoes of the video. We're gonna talk about the app. So the app means reservations. When I went to the park a few weeks ago, you had to reserve going to Indiana Jones and Rise of the Resistance. Those are the most popular attractions, and when I went, it was limited capacity, but they didn't want all those people to hang out in one spot, which is the most popular rides at the park. So we were forced to make reservations there. Reservations can be even like you have to book it even before the park opens on the app, or right when the park barely opens. You have to look and see when there's a window to make a reservation and make sure you get that reservation. The thing too is you got to be on point, because all the people who want to ride the rides you want to do, it's a competition. There's only a limited capacity of these people that could go on the ride, so you have to be as quick as possible when there's a window to make a reservation. Something important is I did say that I went in 25% capacity, but I honestly think it's going to be even worse for when it's full capacity and you're trying to get that reservation. Alright, this is pretty important. It's just doing research. So anybody who pays the premium price for Disneyland, which is like, it could go up to like $130, $140, etc. You want the best day possible, clearly. So something I highly recommend is looking at the Disney Park website, seeing what's being refurbished or anything. Do your research to see what's actually open, because when I went, the Matterhorn was still closed. I didn't look it up, I'm a fool, and I was very disappointed that the Matterhorn was closed. So check if your favorite attractions or what attraction you have to do, see if it's open online, or even watch some YouTube videos to see if it's there. Again, about the reservations, it's not even just rides, it's about the food too. So any place you want to sit down, when I went, you had to make that reservation. So any place that was like with the churro cart, or like you want a chimichanga or something, you don't have to, because you could just walk and pick it up at a stand, but there will be a line. Not that, but anywhere you want to sit down, any place you want to just chill and relax, you got to make that reservation, which really sucks. So a problem with that is, pretend you're really hungry, right? You make a reservation and look at that, you have to wait an hour, or it could be even up to 2 hours for you to actually go back to the restaurant you want to go to sit down and eat. So something I highly recommend is getting some snacks to hold you over, not completely get full off them, and then once that reservation hits, you go back and then you could eat as much as you like. And pro tip, you can bring your own snacks from home to Disneyland. They actually let you do that. This is just a heads up, but finding a seat really sucks. So, you know, if you pick up a snack and you're walking around, you can't just eat it because, you know, we gotta be safe and stuff like that. So basically, you would need to find somewhere that's designated. The thing is, everyone is eating, everyone's snacking, because Disneyland's kind of known for its food. It's actually hard to find a place to actually sit down because there's just not enough seats. The places I highly recommend is finding a bench because a lot of the tables are already taken. Or if you're near the Mark Twain riverboat, there's a good plethora of an area that you can take off your mask and eat. I would say take this tip with a grain of salt, but basically, in my personal experience, usually the wait time is a rough estimate. Not a rough estimate, it's pretty close, but basically I noticed that if I went in a ride that was like 60 minutes, it was like 50 minutes. If I went in a ride that was set 30-minute wait time, it was 20 minutes. So for me personally, usually it's a little less than to be expected. So we're actually living in a dark time right now where we can't get an autograph with our favorite character. We can't take really close pictures or even hug the characters. That's just how it is right now. So if you really want to take a picture of them or even see them, I highly recommend going to Toontown. So usually in Toontown, there's like a big old wait to take pictures. But actually, if you go now, they're just outside their house. Periodically, one of the characters will hop out of their house and wave to the guests, do kissy signs to the guests, and you can get really good pictures with them. Something I find really unique at the moment is if they're around their house, they could grab some props and then they play with them and interact with them. It's something you usually don't actually see, so I highly recommend checking that out if you really want to see a character. So you want that merchandise, right? You want that gift shop merchandise. So what a lot of people do is go to the Emporium in Main Street, which is a store that has like a little bit of everything. But the problem about the Emporium is that shit is not regulated. When I went, people were bumper to bumper. It felt like a convention center. I feel like there's no limit to how many people are going in and out. Like, there's a line to get in, and they, you know, a cast member waits a little bit until people could go in, but when I went, it was really not regulated. People were bumping into each other, people were so uncomfortable, and honestly, I could see people have panic attacks from how close you are to other people, so that's just a heads up. Also, all the different gift shops are not open as when I went, so do your research on that. That pretty much concludes this video for today. If you like my delicious voice, I highly recommend checking out my review of the Magic Candle Company scented candles, which is going to be right here. And if you want to check out some Disney new emos to see what my thoughts about it, you can check out a thorough review right here. And also, it'll be really interesting that we make the comment section like a discussion. Got any pro tips you would like to tell anybody who is going to the park? And if you want to fix something that I said, want to correct something, or want to add to it, feel free to ask for that. It'll be cool, and I reply to every comment that people throw out. So that's pretty much it, yeah. See you guys. Goodbye.